Should you learn the lineups with Yoru? Yes and no. It is really important for you, number one, basically do the lineups on the go. Like to get a really good feeling of how your teleport travels. So no matter in what type of scenario you are, you kind of have an idea how fast the teleport travels and where the fuck it's gonna end up once you deploy it. Like in my Unranked to Immortal series, I've done enormous amount of TP outplays. I have like 6 lineups in total. Developing a feeling for utility is always better than having some strict lineups that you need to follow. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I think for the first time ever, we're VOD reviewing Yoru, currently on my Twitch channel and on YouTube channel soon. I'm doing my Unranked to Immortal series with Yoru, and I'm developing and, cooking some good strategies with this character that I'm gonna share with you in my ranked playbook on my Discord server. If you want to access the ranked playbook, you just need to be a tier 1 sub on my Discord server, Twitch sub, YouTube member, voila, you get the playbook, you have this secret coaching channel right here, you have the link. Every single month, there's enormous amount of strategies and tactics already. Let's see what our main character is doing from Uzbekistan. I play since episode 7 Act 1. Episode 7 Act 1, Bronze 2 to Silver 3. Not bad. Episode 7 Act 2, Silver 3 to Platinum 1. Not bad. Act 3, Platinum 1. Okay, he's a recent Valorant enjoyer. My main, Yoru, Phoenix, and sometimes Omen. All 3 of these agents are, in my opinion, top 7 agents to grind the ranked solo queue. So good picks. Omen is S tier, Phoenix and Yoru are A tier, and yes, I mean you can get all the way up to Radiant with these picks, like very good agents. I don't know what my problem is. I cannot leave Platinum 1. Help me. Can I get minimum Diamond 2 Ascendant in this act? Let's check it, my friend. This is his tracker. He played 97 matches, 48, 46. So his grind is quite consistent. I always, when I'm reviewing the trackers, like I always tell you guys, the minimum optimal amount of games that you should play in Valorant is 3 per day. If you want to compete with these kids that are playing 24/7, it can be 1 game at the morning, 1 game in the night, 1 game in the evening, it's fine. But that is the optimal minimum amount of games that you should play if you truly want to progress in the game. So basically that's around 2 hours of playtime per day, which is around 120 hours in 2 months, which he was doing, to be honest, in the last 2 acts, and that's why we see some significant improvements in terms of his rank, but then he got hard stuck in Platinum. Now, when it comes to the agents that you're playing, as I said, like Yoru, Omen, and Phoenix are great choices. I would simply recommend you to never fill in your games. The only characters that you need to fill in Valorant are obviously the controllers. If you don't have a controller in a team, your chances of winning the match and winning that specific game are 20% lower. So what I always recommend to the players that I'm coaching is that if you're already not maining controllers, you should definitely pick Omen and Viper as some alternative secondary picks. So if you're already maining Yoru and Phoenix, pick the Omen on every single map except the Breeze, and on Breeze, learn the Viper. Definitely, because playing Breeze without Viper is hell of a time. When it comes to the map picks, this is what I recommend you. On Haven, from your picks, I recommend you definitely to main Yoru as a number 1 character, because Yoru on Haven has a lot of useful and a lot of good strategies and tactics that you can utilize to outplay the enemies. Rotations are really fast, done. Phoenix should be your secondary choice, and Omen only if you need to fill in. Sunset. On Sunset, generally controllers don't have that much impact to control the outcome of the rounds and matches, and I have fucking no idea how you're 4-0 with Omen on Sunset. But Omen does have some amazing strategies to basically outplay the enemies on Sunset, especially if you take a look at my playbook on my Discord server. What I would recommend you on Sunset, Yoru is not really the best pick on that map and he's kinda underwhelming. I would recommend you to play Omen and Phoenix on the equal level. So if your teammates need a controller, pick a controller. If a controller is picked, install the Phoenix, and that's it. Breeze. On Breeze, from your picks, Yoru is the only character that you can play. Utilizing Phoenix is okay. It can work, but his flashes on this map are kinda underwhelming. Omen you can play in a double controller setup if you already have a Viper, but I would definitely recommend you to learn to play Viper as a secondary pick and to fill in the games with a Viper. Now, on Lotus, I would actually recommend you to roll with Omen and Phoenix as your main picks, and your secondary pick should be Yoru. The reason for that is because Omen on this map is Giga Chat Agent. Like, there's enormous amount of executes, tactics, strategies that you can utilize. You can control the outcome of your rounds to a very high degrees. And Phoenix is far better duelist on this map compared to the Yoru. On Ascent, I would actually once again recommend you to roll as a Phoenix, as a number 1 pick, and your secondary pick should be Omen and Yoru, depending what your team needs, or if you really want to play Yoru. On Bind, there's no debate here. There is no debate here. Omen, number 1 pick, and Yoru and Phoenix, secondary pick. Like, Omen on Bind is a masterclass. Even when I'm underperforming, my mechanical skill is shit, or I'm having a really bad act, I'm managing to keep minimum 55% win rate with that character on Bind. Take a look at the rank playbook, implement the strategies and tactics from the playbook, done. And on Split, same as on Bind, Omen is number 1 pick, and Yoru and Phoenix are the secondary picks. So I still recommend you to play Yoru and Phoenix if you already have a controller in your team, but I promise you, man, Omen on Bind and Split is irreplaceable. Now, when it comes to your overall statistics, not bad. Like, ADR is okay, it can be a bit better for a duelist player. KD, we're keeping it at 1.05, which means that we are not boosted player. Headshot percentage is fine for a Platinum 2 player. One huge problem that we have, but KST is like, you know, not that good. This means that you're probably dying more than you should, and you're not having a proper mindset or proper executes, proper pathings when you're engaging the enemies. The good KST is 75% and above, and below 70%, you're a trash can, basically. Like you need to learn how to move on the map better, position yourself better, execute the side better, like play with the team better. Like, something is terribly wrong in your gameplay. Weapon choices, surprisingly, a very good tracker. This is very nice. Having a 1 KD in every single economy round that you play. The only problem that I have here in semis, I don't know what's happening for you, like why your semis are lower than ecos, but this is nice, really nice actually. Like first time I see this in any VOD review that I did live. Ares is the second weapon. Hello. Short is the Stinger is there, but that's my boy. What's up, tricksters? My name is Charlatan. I'm an all-time Radiant player since closed beta and the #1 most experienced Valorant coach. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. If you're interested in coaching yourself, be sure to join my official Discord over at discord.gg/charlatan. Some of the coaches and pro players that you're watching today were actually the students of Papito. Other than that, enjoy in this one, baby. Okay, I guess we're ready for the VOD review. Now, on Bind, our default bomb site is the B site. What does that mean for you? That means that it is easier for the attacker side to push B, harder for the defender side players to defend B. It is also easier to play post plants, harder to play retakes. B site, based on the statistical data from Valorant Ranked Solo Queue, has the lowest retake success out of any bomb site on any map in Valorant. The problem is just the bomb site layout, and it's not really fun to retake the site. How do we decide in the first round of Bind what to push? Decision is being made based on, believe it or not, your team composition and enemy's team composition a bit. If you don't have Sage, I would try to end up on B site as many times as possible. I would try to use A site only if B site is not working, #1. I would try to use A site as a faking bomb site and ending up on B site as many rounds as possible. Because planting the spike on A site without a Sage wall, it's hell of a task. On the other hand, if you do have a Sage, call for the fireman push onto the A site through A short. Tell the Sage to do the regular wall, and you should go with your teammates, do some kind of an execute, ba-ba-boo, ba-ba-ba. And when you're executing A site, sometimes you can go through showers depending if you're splitting the site or not, what your teammates are doing. But from the A short, I mean, Yoru has some really, really good executes from both A short and showers as well. Good, you know, TP setups. Now let's discuss that topic. Should you learn the lineups with Yoru? Yes and no. It is really important for you, #1, basically do the lineups on the go. Like, to get a really good feeling of how your teleport travels, so no matter in what type of scenario you are, you kinda have an idea how fast the teleport travels and where the f it's gonna end up once you deploy it. Like in my Unranked to Immortal series, I've done enormous amount of TP outplays, and I have like 6 lineups in total. Developing a feeling for utility is always better than having some strict lineups that you need to follow, because then you need to get on some exact position at that moment of time, God knows if you will be able to get on that exact position. And it's really important to develop like that adaptiveness aspect of your gameplay. On the other hand, there are some lineups that are important for you, like especially on the defender side when you're rotating between the sites, if you want to end up in the spawn of the enemies for some kind of an eco rounds and halbye rounds, outplay and shit like that. I would say that on every single map, there are like 6 to 8 lineups that you need to know, and everything else should just be pure adaptiveness. And that's it. If you don't have Sage, but the enemies do have one of the sentinels, such as Cypher, Deadlock, Killjoy, or Sage, I still recommend you to go for the 5-man push onto the A site. Because 90% of times, that Cypher in the first round will play B site. Let's move on to the first round. In the first round with Yoru, on the attacker side, off bind, I would always go with a classic, light shield, 1 flash and 1, fake out, basically. I will start my round in the A short area of the map, jump spotting the enemies for my teammates, and doing the teleport for this position here. Now that teleport you can deploy from this spot. I think something like this should work, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's the TP. So basically, I will do the teleport for that shit, and then I will try to reach this spot, sending my fake out to the site, flashing the enemies in the lamps, and just executing the lamps, killing this guy, and taking the lamps control as soon as possible for my teammates. Also, like same as with any other agent, your highest priority when you're pushing the A site is clearing the front of the site with your teammates, clearing the lamps, and then fighting for the back site and for the rest of the bomb site. Now let's see what our main character is gonna do. Shorty. Okay, this can be interesting. This can also work. What the fuck are we trying to do? He put the teleport behind himself. Ay. Oh. What the fuck is going on, man? I don't know, like this is what's going on. And also, in the first round, always tell your teammates to play as 5. Never allow your teammates to split apart. Like basically the main rule of the first round on the attacker side should be a 5-man aggressive push towards one specific objective. This teleport that he wanted to do is essentially, you don't need to peek the enemies. Like basically there is a teleport that goes all the way into the lamps. You hug the wall here, aim at this shit here, and most of the times you should end up in the... sorry, that's not the lineup. This wall. This wall, and you're aiming at the middle of that shit, like. And now that this TP should go forward, and that's it, like. And you should end up in the lamps. Now, listen. Whenever you're playing bind, and enemies are playing a bonus or an eco halbye round, you should always tell your teammates to do a 5-man push through the B long. Fuck the hookah. Fuck the A short. Fuck the showers. Just do execute through the B long, S5. Tell your smoker to smoke this and smoke this. Fight for the elbow, and that's your job. Done. And fight for the side control. Whenever you are eco and halbye, the highest skill potential you have in the lamps. And I would call for the 5-man push through the lamps, through the A short, once again, buy the shorty, buy the flash, teleport here, kill this guy here, kill the guy in the lamps, take the gun, that's it. Okay, we're going long. This teleport is okay. I mean, it's gonna end up in CT. First of all, in eco and halbye rounds, when you're executing the B side, like your primary job is to end up like in some close range fight with the enemies. Like basically, there was some kind of a lineup here that you can do. I do this teleport purely based on my feeling. But essentially, your primary job, when you're executing the B site, is to end up in that position. If I'm already going with a classic pistol. And just pop flashing the enemies here, doing this teleport, and trying to kill the enemies. If I saw them here and there. If the enemies are backside, just do the flash for the backside. Drop it like this, or, you know, you can drop it in the ground towards the enemies. Teleport in that corner, and that's it. Okay. One thing that I can definitely, you know, immediately see, you're way too hasty when it comes to shooting the enemies. Like, your right hand and your left mouse button is clicking those shots before you're even ready to fight the enemies. You need to build some discipline. What the fuck is he gonna buy now? Oh no, oh no, oh no. What the fuck am I watching? Am I living in some parallel universe? Man, listen. You lose the second round, and you're playing the third round. Enemies have the bonus and hull by weapons. Enemies have stingers, shotguns, buckies, judges, like shit like that. You tell your teammates, hey guys, let's push 5-man B long. Omen, Brimstone, please, can you smoke the hookah for me? Like this, on this marping? And can you do a smoke onto the CT? And let's fight for the elbow and sight. Simple call. You never prioritize utility over the heavy shield and the guns. In this example, we have 4,000 credits. What are we buying? Heavy shield with a Vandal or Phantom and a fake out. But to be honest, like, your team is forced in the last round. What the fuck is happening here? Interesting. Another tip. Whenever you're pushing the B long of bind, first of all, that raises monkey, and you can learn from that raises mistake. Whenever you're pushing the B long of bind, use some kind of a utility to push the enemies back. Sky flash, Yoru flash, anything. Number one. Number two, you should never peek the enemies here in a clean gunfight. Jump spot the enemies, and now go for the peek based on what you've seen there. If you saw one enemy holding with operator, pop flash, wait for the shot, do the fake out, push forward. Third tip, whenever you're pushing the B long of bind, the absolutely best pathing and the best idea is to clear these angles here. Like this, jump crouch on the wall, and then together with your teammate, you clear that position. But nobody has a crosshair placement ready for this. They're either holding this or this. You're always in an advantage with a proper crosshair placement. That is the kill 8 out of 10 times. Oh, this is a suicide what they're doing now. Raze can drop a nade to the teleporter. Omen can play shotguns in the hookah. I mean, not Omen, but someone. Like, this is terrible.
I know exactly where you are.
This is exactly why I avoid hookah and showers in the earlier stages of the game.
Time to jump.
This teleport is a problem. When you're going for the teleport in the lamps, teleport needs to land in this position so that enemies playing here don't see your anal cavity. Because once I teleport on that spot, I want to do the flash like this. So I'm not only flashing, you see, I'm not only flashing the guy that is here and here. You also need to flash the guy that is maybe watching this angle. So basically, like, I'm dropping a flash more towards the left side, like this, teleporting, clearing this angle, clearing the front side, and then clearing the lamps maybe with a second flash or the fake out and going in. Now, if you already take the lamps control and you have a shorty, this is not really the best angle for the shorty. Like, the absolutely best position for you with a shorty in the lamps is getting up here, up close and personal with the enemies. Like, slightly away from the wall, diagonally, like this. You're placing 1/4 of your crosshair inside of the wall and going for the 2-tap. Okay, we know that Omen is the B player. We know that the Reyna is the A player with the ultimate. Here, I would instantly give my team as the call out. guys, rotate B. Especially with HP here. Ah, we're pushing.
Spike down A.
Она у тебя, да, убей ее.
Stinger! You have a stinger!
One enemy remaining.
Я просто в ахуе.
Okay, now we can drop a teleport through the teleporter and we don't need to fight the Omen, right, guys?
Он на Б, друг.
I don't know what to say about this. If his Astra dies, this clutch is gonna be impossible. Okay, Astra better.
My ult's ready.
Reloading.
I don't.
Still in sight.
I'll handle this. Back soon. Careful here. Watching here.
Pop flash, pop flash, pop flash, pop flash. We cannot get out of that.
I'm back.
Good, good. Not bad, not bad, not bad. This was actually good. The only problem that I have here, I don't know, I would have been faster for this shit. His teammates in the showers, they can die at any moment of time. Yes, he is applying the pressure onto the enemies, but you just don't know what the fuck are the Reyna and the Astra gonna do there. Or whoever the fuck is that, like, race. He did a teleport here to come back to his teammates, which is fine, okay? Personally, I would have put that teleport directly in the corner of this box, so I have a bit of a safer teleport. As soon as he saw the Omen, I would have went for the flash from this wall, go out of the ultimate, and try to delete the Reyna or Omen in that fight.
Careful here. Out of charges. I'm back.
Okay. Now listen, whenever you're in some kind of an open position, think about the teleport. Once you perform some execute with Yoru, think fast. What is the next safe spot where I can teleport or do some kind of an outplay? Right now, I will be instantly doing my teleport either towards the showers, towards my teammates in short, or even towards in the lamps, and aggressing the Sage with a flash and fake teleport and getting a kill. I wouldn't stay here for another 2 seconds. They can die from tower, they can die from CT.
Spike down A.
No, that was not the play. That was not the play. So my guy is playing Ares on the attacker side of Bind. Bro, this ain't gold anymore. We're in Platinum 2, you know, Diamond Elo, like, come on.
One enemy.
I just cannot believe that he's playing Ares on the attacker side with Yoru, bro. The fuck, bro. Listen, man, like fuck the Ares, please. Like, I know that weapon is very easy to be used in platinum, gold, and silver, but wait, what the fuck? He had 6,400 credits, man. Listen, bro, if your teammates are already not buying for you, buy the gun for yourself, buy the heavy shield, buy the utility, and then if you have the credits, drop for your teammate. Especially if your teammates are this mentally ill. Anyways,
Thank you.
after buying that gun for the Reyna, you should have bought a light shield with a Vandal and not Ares with a heavy shield.
Time to jump.
Also, one thing that I really hate when you're pushing the sites is that you need to change your executes based on what it is required from you to do in a specific round. Usually when you're pushing the B side, your teleport should end up here, 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 or here. Like, your first job when you're pushing the B side is making sure that we are clearing the site and allowing your teammates to live a happy life. So instead of doing this TP setup, you know, dropping the TP there, I will do it in the side because I don't know how many enemies are on the site. Doing the flash here, teleporting after the flash pops, clearing this angle, making the sandwich out of the enemies, and then we can maybe extend our push towards the CT and do something. Every single part of the map, you should fight as a segment. So basically, we have a sector 1 that we're clearing, which is usually some kind of a main area of the map. Then we have the sector 2 that we are clearing for our teammates, which is this area of the map on bind. Then we have the sector 3, which is our third priority, which is the site. Then we have the sector 4, which is basically the elbow. And then we can maybe go for some aggro peek and aggro fight in the CT position. You cannot go instantly CT because then you're trusting your teammates to not die while they're pushing the site.
Spike down B.
Oh, that was a good teleport, man. Did they even hear it? Yeah, they heard it. Okay, we don't have time for this. Whenever you're going out of the smoke with the Yoru, pop flash in the ground and that's it. Flash. Yeah, we need to flash and go. He needed to go out here. Like basically, especially in this scenario where he was... basically, there's like... 30 seconds on the clock. As soon as the Omen gave him the smoke, I would have done a pop flash like this. Clear this position, this position, this position. Second flash. And then try to clear the window and go out. Like, we don't have time. We have 10 seconds.
Okay.
10 seconds left.
For the first time ever, his teammates were right. He needed to go for the play there. I think that was an easy win with the pop flashes.
Уйдите, не стопьте меня, блядь.
Okay, from now on, when your teammates are pushing any main area of the map, go in front of them, jump spot the angles, send the fake out if you think that your teammates are gonna die, and this allows your teammates to be mentally retarded players that are peeking the main areas of the maps like they are. Or get ready to refrag them. We cannot peek this area of the map like this. It's impossible. You're just relying on your mechanical skill, tracking, reaction time, and flicking to kill the enemies. And this fight is working in the favor of the enemies. Whenever we are pushing through some main area of the map, we need to apply 4 rules. Rule number 1. If we are making the sound, we're going for the jump spot, revealing the enemies, and then fighting the enemies with a proper crosshair placement, movement, and positioning. Rule number 2. We're using some kind of a piece of utility to clear the enemies, push them back, or reveal them. Yoru clone, pop flash, anything. Rule number 3. We're cutting the pie. If we're going slow and going in and out, 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 in and out. Rule number 4. If you don't have time to do any of this, our monkey teammates that are pushing in front of us, we need to be ready to refrag them. Okay, listen. So in the first round with Yoru, same as with any other agent, on bind I would play in the hookah in the first round and try to outplay the enemies here. If you have someone to bait for you, you can play a classic pistol shorty here, and basically just buy a classic light shield and a shorty. If you don't have anyone to bait for you, then I would not buy a shorty. I will play just a classic light shield and 1 fake out and 1 flash. So if you're playing alone in the hookah in the first round, I would just go for a clone here, play this position, and try to outplay the enemies with a clone and try to kill them when they shoot a clone. If you have someone to bait for you, just play a classic pistol shorty, wait for the enemies to come, blah 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 blah. But whatever the fuck you're doing in the first round of bind, I recommend you to position the teleport like this. So this is the lineup for the A site. So when there is like 8 seconds left on the clock, you drop the TP like this. And that TP will fly all the way into the backside there. So you will be absolutely ready to support your teammates on the A site if the enemies are pushing the site. Your TP in the first round cannot go in the CT. Like, when there's like 7, 8 seconds left on the clock, we're dropping this and then positioning somewhere on the B side.
Делаешь, я тебе говорю.
Okay, listen, man. If enemies are already not pushing hookah and you're playing this strategy, pick up the classic pistol as soon as possible.
Фука. Ой, фу, этот. Лонг.
And in this scenario, I would have actually teleported towards the CT. Because I have 3 teammates coming through the hookah, we need to apply some pressure through the CT.
Хуя.
Spike
ТП.
planted. One enemy remaining.
Деф.
Now listen guys, like whenever you're playing a second round in Valorant, always make sure that you have a heavy shield unless you save the light shield from the first round. And on Bind, the best second round weapon is either Stinger and Shorty, Spectre, or Judge. Oh, what the fuck is this, bro? I like that pop flash a lot, man. That was fucking good, bro. But, you know, to be honest, in this round, there is no reason to peek the enemies. We have the Bucky, we should be fighting, you know, some smarter fights.
No chance.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, to be honest, this was his best round. I just recommend you, man, if you always save the Ghost in the first round and you win the first round, go with the Judge, Heavy Shield, or Heavy Shield Stinger. Okay, so 2 times in a row, enemies push the B site. So now there is a high chance that enemies are gonna push A site because they failed 2 times in a row on B. You need to change this teleport for the CT. This is the teleport for the back site. And this should be the teleport for the tower, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just see if this actually works. So it needs to be a bit deeper so that you're ready, you know, to play with your teammates.
Reloading. Spike planted.
Cypher, wait till they go.
Ooh. Bro, listen. If enemies already destroy your fake out and you're not ready to pick them when they're flashed, use your flash. Like basically a lot of times since, you know, in these rounds, you're dying because you're not using your utility enough. You're not engaging the enemies with a pop flash. So here, if I'm retaking the A side and they already destroy my fake out here and I'm here, they're not gonna be flashed as I go for the peek. So I need to do some kind of a pop flash like this and like this to push them back, and then I'm gonna be peeking them. Listen, when should you rotate? You should rotate if your teammates lose some important area of that specific map. Like on Bind, if the enemies are already in this sector or enemies are here, I'm rotating. If one of my teammates dies, I'm rotating as well. But if your teammates are living a happy life, they're stopping the enemy's push, they are successful, anchor the site. You don't need to make any moves yet, especially when you're playing Yoru, an agent that can do rotations like this. Listen, man, based on your current gameplay, I'm gonna give you some kind of a training for all of this shit. I'm not gonna give you any aim training routine. You need to understand how much time you should spend on the VOD reviews, how to actually fix all of these problems. Your map awareness is also non-existent. Let's see how they end the match. It's okay, it's okay. Now listen, when you have a Shorty and a fake out with Omen, with the ultimate, primarily try to use the fake out to push the enemies. Don't use it for anything else. You know, to kill the enemies with a Shorty. Like if I'm going for this retake, fuck the fake out. Like I'll be doing the teleport somewhere, maybe for the tower, doing the ultimate, clearing the lamps. Aha, one enemy is here. I can just do this, push out, kill this guy, done. Or I'm behind the enemy, and enemy is here. Easy kill.
Planted.
I'll return.
You will not kill my allies.
Portal closed. I'm back.
Last player standing.
What the fuck was that flash, man?
Don't get
Easy kill.
Spike planted.
time to jump.
that teleport is absolutely stupid again. We have a safe TPs and we have the aggressive TPs. Like, that TP is not aggressive and it is not safe. And it's not a rotation TP. A TP is nothing. Like, in this scenario, we're either placing the teleport for the lamps and just placing it here. So after we get in some fight, we can get the fuck out. Or we're placing some aggro TP to outplay the enemies. Like, basically, we can just do a teleport like this. It's gonna go all the way into the short, ba-ba-boo, ba-ba-ba, ba-ba-boo, ba-ba-ba, and we can go for some kind of an aggro play. Or play with the enemy's mind. When the TP is maybe grinding in the wall. You know, TP is going, and now the TP ends up there. We can do a fake teleport. Boop. And maybe these enemies are gonna be distracted. And now, we can go for a swing, for the maybe pop flash. And that's it. But this is the end of the VOD review. We reviewed 24 rounds. Your utility usage needs to be a bit more mindful, and you need to spend some time in a custom server developing, you know, some of the lineups or getting a bit better, you know, overall feeling for using the teleports on the go. I think that we covered some of an ideas of how to play Yoru on Bind and, you know, what you should be doing as a solo queue player. Make sure to join my Discord server. If you want to get my private coaching, this is not even close to my private coaching. Like, I want to say I'm saving my breath for the private coaching, but we reviewed this VOD for 2.5 hours, basically. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, comment, and all that good stuff. See you in the next VOD review.